It's starting. So okay, let's begin. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us today for this event. My name is Nouran Bouznif. I work for UBFC Alumni Network. It's a professional social network dedicated to students. So it's master students, PhD students, and also graduates from UBFC. As a network, we regularly organize events like today. And today I'm very happy to welcome two guests, Lisa Osorio Pulido and Anne-Clémence Voisin from the Euraxess network. Lisa works at University of Franche-Comté and Anne-Clémence works at the University of Burgundy, and they are both in charge of assisting foreign researchers with all kind of administrative procedures, such as social security, insurance, taxes, all this kind of stuff. And today, the event is going to be about the right to reside in France. Lisa and Anne-Clémence are going to answer your questions for about 25 minutes. And before we start, let me give you a few instructions. I remind you that this video conference is recorded so that you can access the replay later. Anne-Clémence and Lisa are here to give you answers about the right to reside, like information about procedures, contacts you may need, deadlines, etc. So if you have questions about this subject, please write them down in the chat area in this video conference. You have a little chat box in the right of the window. Also, we recommend you not to ask too personal questions. If you have a very specific or personal issue regarding right to reside, it's better if you send Anne-Lisa or Clémence an email about your problem. But here we are going to stay on general information that are going to be interesting for everyone. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you a good event.
Thank you, Nouran. So, Lisa? Yes. Just for you to know, we will put our email address so that for any specific case, you will afterwards be able to contact us. So I don't know if there is any question first, or because we didn't want to present something, we didn't want to present something about the procedures. It was more to answer questions, but so I don't know if anyone would like to start, or otherwise we can begin with the presentation of two platforms that would be interesting for you.
Yes, if you have any question, please maybe write it down in the chat. Maybe it will be easier, I guess, to answer you.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, in the meanwhile, if you have any question regarding also the platform like ANEF, I guess you are almost all using it. So if you have any question regarding the use of the ANEF, maybe some tips to use it, don't hesitate to ask. We actually can share the screen and see if we can answer you. And as we said, if you have any particular question and we can answer to everyone here, then feel free then to write us.
Well, I don't know, Lisa, maybe we can share the NF platform and just talk about maybe some new things, because the platform is is being transformed a bit. First, for the PhD students that are in France since 3 years, maybe some of them, some of you don't know the platform yet, because it's quite new, from if I'm not mistaken, 2019 or maybe 2020, no 20, I think. So this platform is mainly to apply for the residence permit and apply for the renewal of the residence permit. And you can also, for example, if you are in a situation where you don't have any regular situation and you need to go back to your home residence and apply for a new visa, for example, you can get for a maximum of 1 year. If you are staying in France, a maximum of 1 year, you can have a VLSTS that has to be validated. So the validation is online. And it's really quick. So you are I think you are all in France right now, so you are not concerned about this maybe now, but it's good to know that for all the stays of less than 1 year, you may have this visa. You will have this long stay visa between 3 months and 1 year.
We are just warning you about that because or you may have the validation of your visa to make online, or if you have like this mention writing there, here, it means that you have to solicit a residence permit, which is a different procedure. It's on the same page, but it's here, like I ask or renew a residence permit. Actually, you can also change the language. Sometimes all the pages are not quite well translated. So if you have any question, please send a screenshot and all, and you will have to need, like, I would like to apply or renew my residence permit. Sorry, I'm just adding a small tip. Also, so as you can see, there are some different stuff, and as you can see, there are some pages that are not translated. So here also you can ask for nationality. If you are going to a national to ask for nationality, French nationality, you can ask there. If you need any authorized work permit, like mainly for students, if you need another one to be able to work for 100%, you can ask here. If you are moving in another, you are changing your address, you are getting married, you have any change on your situation, you can make it here. You can make it here. And if you need a travel document, you can make it here. Also, an interesting thing is that you can you have all the information to buy a virtual stamp. Is the fiscal stamp when they're asking for the timbre fiscal, generally about 19 euros or 325 euros. You will have to get here to get your fiscal stamp. Because France is not accepting any payment by card or cash, but only by this fiscal stamp. You have to make all the procedure online, or you can buy it on tobacco stuff and bar sometimes, but for the easiest way should be by internet, if you can have access to a computer and make the payment online.
And just for you to know, in case you are concerned later, if you apply for another type of visa, for example, as an employed salarié, for example, or temporary worker, then right now the procedure is not online. You still need to send your application at the prefecture, but the aim would be that all the situations would be on the platform. apart from a specific one. But in the next month, normally all the situations and status should be, you should apply for it online on this platform. We will start maybe, just something for the Algerian citizens. For regarding the student, regarding the certificate de résidence, you will need to send the application at the prefecture. The procedure is not online for all the Algerian citizens. Okay, then we will start to answer the questions because we have some questions. So the first one, Osin, I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I'm just reading your Outlook address. After a master PhD graduation, I heard that we have up to 4 years to apply for a visa for 1 year to stay in France. Okay, this visa is called RECE, and it depends also on your country of origin, because we have several, we have a list of countries according the agreements that both countries have. So it is true that after graduation, you have up to 4 years for the residence permit RECE, and I will write here some links. So this is from Campus France. And also we have from this, you should have it in English as well. Well, okay, I send you this one. I hope. Normally I send the link in French, but normally you should turn it into English. So this is the residence permit you are asking for, I think. And there is another one called APS that is also, no, excuse me, it's to stay in France after the end of the studies. So the residence permit you are talking about is RECE. Titre.
Which means recherche d'emploi ou création d'entreprise, and the fact that it's calling search for a job doesn't mean you don't have the right to work. Actually, you are able to work the entire year of the residence permits, but you can't renew it. It's only one time.
Only 1 year, and also if you find a job, for example, during this year, you have some conditions to turn this residence permit into another one called salarié, employed, or there are some conditions that you will find on the websites. Maybe we will not get into it right now, but you will find all the informations on this website. And also about the salary, about the wage. They are asking that a minimum of that you find a job with a salary of 1.5 time the minimum wage. So everything is written, and you should just get into these links.
And in order to get it, you need to get a French diploma. That's one of the requirements. Actually, yes. Also. You need to have or either a French master degree. You can actually ask it after your master degree, or your PhD. But generally, if you have a PhD, depends on the status you have. If you have a status of talent passport researcher, you can renew your this residence permit, particular talent passport researcher, with the allocation of the unemployment with Pôle emploi. But if you have a status of student, you can after your PhD, your French PhD, you can go for the RECE.
And with what you've just told, Lisa, we have another question of PK Ningrum. The second question, and it's linked. So is there any visa that allows PhD students with Passeport Talent visa to get additional years to stay in France to work and search for job after graduation? So if you have the Passeport Talent residence permit because you were a doctoral within a doctoral contract. So you were considered as a salary employed. You were employed by the university to make your PhD studies. Then it means that you paid some cotization, some taxes regarding the unemployment. I don't know how to say that, administration. With this residence permit, Passeport Talent Chercheur, you are in from the end of your contract, you are able to apply for the renewal of your residence permit for the maximum of 2 years, because on the basis of your unemployment rights. And I'm telling you that the maximum is 2 years because in France you can have the unemployment benefits for a maximum of 2 years. So the residence permit will be as long as your rights, your unemployment rights. That can be interesting, for example, if you are you have a doctoral contract for 3 years and you didn't finish, you couldn't defend your thesis within these 3 years. Then you need to renew your residence permit. And when you are a resident, a Passeport Talent, when you have a residence permit, Passeport Talent Chercheur, it's really difficult and almost impossible. I mean, it depends on the prefectures, but you may not be able to turn it into a student visa afterwards, a student residence permit, sorry. So that means that the best would be to apply for the renewal of your residence permit, Passeport Talent Chercheur, with all the proofs that you applied for at Pôle emploi for your unemployment benefits. Okay, so I hope this is clear. And it's different if you have student residence permit, because when you are a student, so you are not you don't have any unemployment rights. So that means that you need to apply for this student residence permit with the proof of registration at the university, and also the same as usual, you need to prove that you have excuse me, could you turn off your mic? Thank you. So you will need to prove that you have all the resources for this student visa, residence permit, excuse me.
In any case, and if you are in the case that, for example, you doctoral control is finishing, but you don't finish your thesis, and you still have some few months in order to make the presentation of your thesis, or you still need some time, so you can completely make the procedure with Pôle emploi in order to get the renewal of your residence permits, on the basis, as Anne-Clémence said, that you will get an attestation with the amount you will receive from Pôle emploi and the duration, and the prefecture will use this duration on the attestation to give you the new residence permit. And I give you in the chat the condition to be eligible to register to Pôle emploi in order to see if you are eligible in your case or not.
And also, just one thing, the prefecture, it depends on the area, but for example, in Côte d'Or, the prefecture of Dijon, for instance, they always give 15 days more than the work contract. And they say that it can help, you know, to make the procedure. But now, for everybody that are applying for the renewal online on the ANEF website, you need to do it between 2 and 4 months before the expiration date, because otherwise you will pay a tax. A tax of 180 euros. It's because you are late with the procedure. So that means that, okay, it's important if you are in this case, that you know that you cannot be registered at Pôle emploi before the end of your contract. But you need to apply for the renewal 2 months at least before the expiration date. So that means that you will not have all the documents needed online. And we have a special procedure. And if you are in this case, I really invite you to contact us, because we can help you with this process, so that you can write a letter telling the prefecture 2 months before the expiration date that you will get all the documents at the end of your contract, so that you shouldn't pay the tax. So I hope this is clear. But if you recognize yourself in this case, please contact us and we will help you with the procedure. And we can continue maybe with the next question, Lisa.
So Moussa Mohamed Waberi, you asked, do we have to validate our VLSTS visa every time we come to France? No, you don't. You have to make it just one time for each visa, which means, like, for example, if you have a visa for a year, you validate it and you just have to make it once. You will normally have a document. You should have a document saying that confirmation of the validation of your visa, and this is the document you need to travel with. But if you are actually next year, after the 1 year of your visa, you are applying for a new visa, then you will have to validate it again. I hope that was clear, but you normally for a year visa or less, you have to validate it just once.
Lisa, could you share again the ANEF website just
Yes.
to add something, just for you to have the visualization?
Yep.
Thank you.
Here. Yes.
So yes, the first step, for example, for Moussa, so when you come with a visa to be validated for the first year, for example, as a student or as a passeport talent chercheur, so the first step when you arrive in France is to validate the visa, and after the 2 months, between 2 and 4 months before the expiration date of your VLSTS, you should click on the second box. I would like to apply or renew my residence permit, because the VLSTS is like a residence permit. I mean, it's an easy process in order not to lose time, because we consider that for duration less than 1 year, it's kind of complex procedure to apply for the residence permits, so that it has been it's lighter, I think. So the second step is to apply for the renewal of your residence permit, and that's it. And you don't have to validate anything else. And you will have, Lisa, you clicked on this. So in this process, when you have to renew your residence permit, you have to tick, so moi-même, myself, and after, je suis titulaire d'un titre de séjour VLSTS. And after, you just fill all the documents with information of your VLSTS that you validated a few months before. I hope we answered your question.
You also should know that when they're asking sometimes for your number of foreigner, like numéro d'étranger, it's actually the number of your visa or residence permit. And this number is the one associated to you for your account on the ANEF, and it will always be associated to your situation. So you will always be referred as the number you get on your visa on the first time, or your residence permit if you're asking a residence permit once you're in France.
So we have another question from Joaquin. In order to get a residence permit, you need to be legal in France for at least 5 years. Nonetheless, I heard that some special cases, as PhD or masters in France, this rule might not apply. So, I mean, if you are a student, is it true? Is any way to get a residence permit for long stays before 5 years? No.
No. Actually, it's when you are talking about the PhD or master, because the years of the residence permit as a student won't count for the 5 years of residency. So your years of residence permit as students doesn't count, and it does mean that maybe you are already here for since 5 years, but you won't be able to ask for the carte de résidence because of that, because maybe the 2 first years as with a residence permit as students won't count, and you will have to wait for 2 other years in order to get the 5 years. And if there is any other way to get the residence permit, no, except if you are married to a French citizen, then it's 3 years, for example. It's a bit lighter, but in the case of studies, you can't have lighter than 5 years.
Also for OSINT 6 Outlook, I'm sorry, I don't have your name. Could you please repeat again the point of having the talent passport and couldn't defend it in exactly 3 years? I invite you to contact us. We will let you in the end of the webinar our address, because it's kind of complex, and the best would be to check that with you directly. So Moussa Mohamed Waberi, can I apply for researcher talent visa if I am a PhD student with VLSTS visa? So it depends on the type of your visa. I mean, you are a PhD student, so if I understand, you have a VLSTS visa student as a student.
It will depend. It will depend on the situation, because in order to get the research talent visa, you need to get a convention d'accueil, and to get the convention d'accueil, it's a document that you need to follow some requirements. For example, having a doctoral contract or any research contract, or having a CIF contract, which is a contract with a company as well. Meanwhile, you are making your PhD. If you have a fellowship and you are founding but not a working contract, then you can't apply for the talent passport research.
But actually, if I understand well, you are in a. It seems you are in a sandwich thesis. I mean, you are doing this going back and forth. Maybe in co-tutel. Maybe you are in co-tutel. So I invite you to contact us as well. So you can contact Lisa if you are in the University of Franche-Comté, or myself if you are at the University of Bourgogne, because I saw this once, and it's kind of complex, because we need to sometimes make a research stay agreement, so that if you have the scholarship of at least 1,600 euros, we can maybe make a hosting agreement, convention d'accueil, for this short period. But there are some inconvenients. I mean, because you have to pay all the time this passport talent visa and residence permit. So we can talk about it maybe by email. So I can see that the time is running really fast. So we can try to, if you all agree, we can try to answer the last questions. And Noran, if you agree also.
Okay, one more question.
Because we have two more questions. No, it's okay. This is the same question. Est-ce qu'il y a une, so is there any short stay residence permit, visa, let's say, for researchers in Dijon? So I don't know. Okay. It's possible. For example, if you go, if you are coming for a colloque or for a short stay, you should, if you are in another country, in your country of residence, then you can apply for a short stay visa, and well, it's possible if you have a scholarship of or funding of at least 1,600 euros per month. Well, and it depends on the duration, but it's for 1 month. Then you can apply. You can apply for a short-term visa with a convention d'accueil. That can help. But of course, you can apply for a short-term visa.
I don't think it was regarding that. I understand that you were actually working, searching for residency, like to stay on accommodation, maybe, if I'm not, because I think so. If you are, but it's okay to get the info. So if you are both interested, Amon Chakou and Samira Ben Yursi, I guess it will be better to contact you directly because both are searching for in Dijon. So I guess for accommodation, it's better to contact you and Clémence directly.
Yes.
And just to end with the last question, because Lim, sorry, you said I am in the process of getting my residence permit. I'm a postdoc in RAE. My question is if passport talent is the same as chercheur on the residence permit. Yes, and yes. If you know the passport talent is regular status, and then you have like some specific status, like you can be passport talent chercheur. In your case, all the PhD and researcher, you are passport talent chercheur. But there is also passeport talent salarié qualifié, passeport talent for modeling. So passeport talent is a kind of status, and then the specific status is passeport talent chercheur. But it's in your case, it's the same. Okay, so
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I think we're gonna have to stop now because it's 12:48. I'm sorry for everyone if it's a little frustrating that we have to end the event. How do you want to process, Lisa and Clémence, with the last questions? Do you prefer that people write you an email so that you can answer their question, or do you want to contact them?
Yeah, it would be for the person that are still have still questions. The best would be to contact us. I put the email address. If you can just copy paste from the conversation area, and please contact us. We can also make a video call if you need one day. We can find the time to do that. Okay, so because I can check that we are talking about CIFRE as well. So
yes.
The best would be to contact us. Now the time ran really fast. And just because I didn't understand correctly the question for Samira, at Dijon, we have International House. It's like a hotel, and it's on the campus, and you can have an accommodation there if it was the question for short stay in Dijon. So thank you very much for all your questions, and please contact us.
Yes.
Feel free, because it can be complicated to understand, and sometimes situations can be a bit tough. So don't be alone, and we will try our best to help you with all the processes.
Yes, and don't hesitate, because I think you will receive maybe a questionnaire just after the event. So don't hesitate if you to tell us if you'd like to get any other type of event like that. If you'd like to have other webinar, another type of another type, like accommodation or social security or a residence permit, if there is any really further questions. So don't hesitate to tell us that, and we'll try to make it work.
Yes, thank you all for attending this event. As Lisa said, I'm going to post in the chat a little survey. It's a link where you can give us your feedback and suggestions for some next events. We are very curious to know what you feel after this event, because it's the first time we organize this kind of Q&A live event during 30 minutes. So we are very interested in having your opinion. And we hope to see you at future events, maybe with Euraxess too, if you have questions about other kind of process like social security or anything else. And thank you very much, Lisa and Anne-Clémence, for hosting this conversation. So yeah, if you can take just a few minutes to answer the survey, it would be really great. And don't hesitate to contact Lisa and Anne-Clémence if you have more questions. We wish you all a very good afternoon. And bon appétit if you haven't eaten yet. Do you have anything to add, girls?
No, thank you very much to all of you for joining us and to ask some questions and participate with us. It was a great time. Thank you.
I'm sorry, just something to add because you were quite a small group today, but if you hear that somebody that an international researcher or PhD student have some troubles, please send them to our Euraxess center, because sometimes it's too late, you know, to take care of the situation. So please talk about us. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
Thanks
nice
a lot.
day.
Have a nice day.
Bye bye.
Bon appétit.
Thank you.